You're listening to ARTCAST from our studio in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Welcome to ARTCAST Radio, and today is our second part of Love in Different Cultures. My name is Natabi Salama from Uganda, and I will be your host in this podcast. Last time in our podcast, we had people from different parts of Africa with different cultures sharing how they show love with their loved ones. And in today's topic, I will explain to you why this topic matters to me. Because after listening to all that was said, I got to know some of the things that I did not know in my culture that are similar to other cultures. And I'm also sure that even in today's topic, it will provide you with a lot of ideas to make sense of and to contemplate on. It will also come to illustrate the fact that there is no right or wrong way to show your feelings. It will also make you think about the true meaning of love in general. Understand each other's cultures, how you approach a person no matter they are close or you've just met them. And I hope after listening to this podcast, you will also realize that if you haven't already. So get ready to get some interesting narrations, a couple of interviews, and the usual dose of lovely music. But before we go further, let me play one of the songs called No One Like You by P Square. These are two identical brothers, Peter Okoye and Paul Okoye, born on 8th of November 1981 in Nigeria. I chose this song because when you tell your loved one these words, they feel special and grateful that they have you.
Hey, oh yeah, eh, eh, eh. Oh yeah, eh, 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 eh. Oh yeah, eh, 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 eh. Oh yeah, eh, eh, eh. Oh yeah, eh, eh, eh.
You're listening to ARTCAST from our studio in Sofia, Bulgaria.
No one, hello, how you doing? My angel, my one and only, the only one that I'm missing. Where they bring me joy and blessings, you know that I love you, and I can't wait to say I do. But before we walk down the aisle, I just wanna let you know that you're the finest. May you be the finest thing I've seen, you're the brightest. The way you shine, you bling like me, you're the highest. When it comes to rating, you're the lead. My princess, my only one lover. And I just wanna let you know that no one be like you. See, I don't go different places, I've seen many faces. No one be like you. So they cannot replace you, cause you are a blessing. No one be like you. You're driving me crazy, cause you are my baby. No one be like you. No one like you, one like you. No like you, one like you. No one. About a year ago, before I met you, yeah, there was no possibility for me to be rescued. But thank God about you, girl. I cannot do without you. Now since I go different places, I've seen many faces that cannot replace you. With you I gain many blessings. Girl, you are my life, you're the finest. Can I be the finest being I've seen? You're the brightest. The way you the shine, you the bling like me. You're the highest. When it comes to rating, you're the lead. My princess, my only one lover. And I guess it's not to let you know that no one be like you. See, I don't go different places, I've seen many faces. No one be like you. They cannot replace you, cause you are a blessing. No one be like you. You're driving me crazy, cause you are my baby. No one be like you. No one. No one like you, one like you. No one. One like you, one like you. That's what we say. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. No one like, oh yeah, one like, oh yeah, no one like, oh yeah. No one, yeah, you're the finest. Can you be the finest I've ever seen? The way you the shine, you the bling like green. Hey, when it comes to rating, you're the lead. My princess, my only one lover. Girl, I guess it's time to let you know that no one like you. So many things, so many things like you. Everything without you, there's no possibility. There's no positivity. Always negativity. Ain't gonna find you.
You're listening to ARTCAST from our studio in Sofia,
You
Bulgaria.
are my destiny. This is reality. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Hi, could you please introduce yourself, your culture, and the way you live?
Hi, Sarah and everybody that are listening to us. My name is Violena and I'm coming from Bulgaria. About my culture, I can say that it's actually very common to the most Slavic countries, and most of people are very open-minded here, which is kind of typical for the Europeans.
What are you proud of from your culture that you want everyone to know?
I'm very proud of my country, as every citizen in every country in the world. But about Bulgaria, I can say that I'm proud with that my country is one of the oldest countries in the world. So that makes her very important for developing the European culture. I can say even the Cyrillic alphabet is created by the two Bulgarian brothers, Kirill and Metodi. And this alphabet it's using in a lot of countries, even in Europe, even in Asia. So we also still keep the history, and we try to protect and pass it to our kids. Also about tradition, we still celebrate everything in the traditional way. We don't change anything because we want to pass and to keep this as much as it's possible.
So for you, it's more of like you're taking your tradition to pass it to the others, right?
Yeah, of course. Even the clothes, people are keeping the old style clothes, which are called nusia. And nowadays they're very expensive because this is something that you cannot have it just right now. It's just people keep it and pass it to their kids.
So how do you show affection, and do you think expressing it is important?
In general, showing affection could be like kissing, hugging, and even with words. You can show a lot of affection with words. And in my opinion, expressing is the key of keeping relations. Otherwise, nobody will know what you actually have in your mind and what you want to say to the person in front of you. Also, friends, family, and the person that you love, you're in love with, are the things that are very important in our life, and we are ready to do everything to protect them in any case. Relation with them, it's very strong, and it's lasting forever. I can say for myself that I can do everything for my family first, and I still appreciate my friends. I count them on my hand, but I can proudly say that I can trust on them and they can trust on me as well. So this is very important in life, because if you stay alone, it's not a good way to live like.
So tell us more about the way you show affection, like when you're in public with your loved one, maybe with your sister, maybe with someone close to you. How do you show love how do you show that you love them when you're in public?
Nowadays, if you go in any Bulgarian park, you can see a lot of teenagers kissing each other sitting on bench, which is very common here. But for adults, I can't say that they show this in public spaces, but it's happening sometimes. I think that showing affection to a person that you love should be showed mostly first by respect. So after that, kissing and hugging, there's nothing wrong in doing that in public, but sometimes it's not so nice to see it on street if it's too much.
Okay, so do you think the way parents show their affection in front of their children affects them, and why?
Yeah, I think most of people are kissing and hugging at home, and usually your kids are living there, but I think the parents are the people who educate and bring up on them. So they actually give this example how they should live, and they give them this example for the future, for their future behaviors. So I think if they don't show any affection to each other, that means that they will never exist. I mean, they will not pass to the kids. So when they grow up, they will never do the same.
Nice. Because for our case, it's totally different. We, the parents, cannot, like the way you people kiss, the parents are not allowed to kiss it, like to show love in front of the kids. Sometimes if they need time, like two parents, both of them, we are sent to the village or sometimes to our aunties so that they can have time together. So
wow, that's interesting. I actually listened to that in the previous podcast. So yeah, here it's kind of an opposite side.
Yeah. So what do you think has changed and why in terms of culture and behavior?
In these years, many things changed, I think. I didn't live for a long time. I'm just 24 years old. But as I know from my grandmother's stories, before they was more happy because there wasn't the internet, so they was actually going out and speaking with people. They have real life. And I can say that bringing internet is a big advantage for us because it's helping us to work and to develop ourselves somehow. But in the social side, I think the technology has changed the lifestyle of people a lot. So nowadays people just communicate with each other via Facebook, WhatsApp, Viber, and such as application like this, instead of going out and really spend time with the people that they like and speak. And they actually express their emotion via stickers, which is not so nice. It's nice to receive hugs sometimes.
Violina. Okay, do you think that the media has played a positive or a negative role in shaping our culture?
Of course, media is one of the big strongness in the world because it's the face of receiving information. So people usually believe everything they see on the screen. And I think media manipulate not just the way of loving somebody, but even the way of living and the way you think. It's changing everything. And yes, I think it's a big deal because not every time the information that is passed out to people it's correct, and nobody is actually checking is it correct or not. They just play it on the screen. So especially when the kids see something they believe.
Yeah, because
and not only kids.
Even adults, like most of the times when things are put on television, you're like, oh, this also happens in other countries, why can't I try it? So it's more faster on the media than maybe like eye-to-eye contact. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Especially now, all media, it's 90% advertising. So people sell products and goods via these advertisements, and they actually advertise a lot with women beauty, let's say. So young boys think that the woman is just a pretty face and that's it.
All the good values. Thank you so much, Violina, for sharing. Really.
Thank you too, and thanks for listening us.
My name is Sabulime Elisha Davis. I am Ugandan, and I'm from the tribe of Baganda, which is basically in the central region of Uganda. My way of life, I guess I can say it has evolved from a very traditional, cultural person into someone who is more open-minded with many layers from different people that I've met throughout my entire life. Not to say that I don't respect my origins, but I see things different now from when I saw things back then, growing up here as a Muganda. One thing I'm proud of about my culture is it's not only in my culture, but the idea of community and society being the most important thing than the individuals. It's one thing that I'm seeing fading away, but I would say that is one thing that I was always proud of coming from here, knowing that as an individual, you are not more important than the community itself. Things are different now, but if there's anything that I was proud of, and I still want to be proud of, and work hard to achieve, is that we are greater and stronger together. Where I come from, love and affection is a topic of great importance Because when you talk about love and affection, the Ugandan people understand it differently. They take it further, just beyond like a relationship that is friendly, and they tend to always regard it highly only on the front of sexual relationship or romance. And that's how I was raised. But things are different now. For different relationships, I show my affection differently. To a friend, I always want to tell them what they mean to me, and that's a sign that I love them, I care about them, I regard them highly. And if it's a romance relationship, then that's a different thing. I always want to express with words and actions. And recently I'm learning to give gifts as well. So that is how I show love and affection to the people that I really, love and care for. Yes, I think the way parents show affection in front of their children affects them, because as children we grow up learning what is put in front of us. If our parents they express their affection with each other and with us, that's how we're going to be when we grow up, because that is what is going to become our way of life. That's going to be our culture, because it's what we see every day. But if, like back in the days, everything is hidden and we are not allowed, we're not free to express such emotions, then it's hard for the young people to express such feelings when they grow up, because they are restricted. They are not free to express them. So I really think that it all goes back to the way the parents are raising their children, and also society, because where I come from, your parents were not only your biological parents. Everyone who was older, who was fit to be your dad or your mother, would be considered a parent. Things are different now, though. Over the years, so many things have changed, but I also think that this is life. Life is not going to be the same today, and when tomorrow comes, it's not going to be the same. There are going to be so many things that are different, even if we're the same ones experiencing it. And because every generation has a way of doing things depending on what the moment requires and dictates. Back then, things were different. We've only had stories of how great the communities and societies were. We've only heard about the cohesion in society. We don't see that every day now. We don't experience that every day. Things have changed because of the capitalism, the change in government systems, the change in societies, because our societies are now more mixed up. Like when you come to Uganda, we have, over 50 tribes. And on top of that, we have so many nationalities from around us who are like with us here. And they brought so much with them. And that affects the way we live and do things today. It wasn't the same for our grandparents or our parents, because they didn't have that to tap into. But now we have it, because it's here. So life is going to be different. I think that's the reason why things have changed, because we have now so much variety in terms of cultures, ethnicities, and life is different. Technology, all of that has affected the way we see things and do things now. Media, I think it depends on from what angle you're looking at it, because media it's always going to be there. It's helped us communicate, and everyone uses it for their own intentions and motives. So I think in this case we can judge, or we can talk about the motives of the people behind the media. Some use it for good, which you would say is positive, and others use it for stirring up war, crime, which you would call negative. So I think it's both positive and negative, because it's about the intentions of the people behind the media, because media alone, without an operator, it's dead. So media is just a mask there. Until someone comes into it and gives it life, then it has purpose, it has direction. So we judge media according to that purpose, that direction, the motive, the intention of the operator. Media is responsible for some of the negative aspects of our daily lives, but also it's responsible for some of the positive attributes we see in our daily lives today. I think every culture has been influenced by love. It's just the understanding of love that differs from culture to another. Because when you come to Uganda with the different tribes we have, you can find that love and relationships are two different things. But love is where we all come from. Because we're here now because of a union of two people that loved each other and loved us and raised us. So yeah, I would say love influences culture. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for love. Our parents sacrificed so much, and that is love. You know, there's so many things you hear on the news that, oh, they gave birth to a child and they threw it away. You know, but we're here because our parents sacrificed and loved us so much that they did everything for us to survive, to see today. So I guess my culture has been influenced by love. My way of life goes back to the way I was raised. Yeah, I agree. My culture has been influenced by love. Love, affection, these are emotions. If they're expressed well, then they lead us somewhere, a place that is beautiful, that is good, with good intentions and goodwill for others, because it's not selfish. You know, love is kind, love is compassionate, love is all those sort of things we've heard about love. So if we keep it in our culture, then we're bound to get where we want to go, because all we need is each other. And if there's no love, there's no affection, there's no way we can come together. So I think keeping these two things is key and is fundamental to our longevity as human beings. Not only human beings, but as life on earth. Because animals, plants are all part of this. Seas, mountains are all part of this. Love goes beyond man-to-man relationship or man-to-woman relationship. It's with everything around us, the environment that gives us life. I am 33 years now, and I've seen some days that are darker than the others, and I've seen some days that are lighter than the others. But I think in all those days, it was always hope. Hope to love, again, that kept me going and going up today. I think as a young generation now, our challenge is understanding, wisdom and knowledge. Because, seeing these things, love and affection, they can easily be manipulated, like I said, by media, by anyone. As young people, our challenge, our greatest challenge ever, is to seek knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Because with that, we can discern what is right for us and what is not. Because there's never going to be a universal understanding of these things. No, never. Because we are different. So I would say my only piece of advice for this is trying to find the meaning in these words for your life. Then you can express them without restrictions, without boundaries, because you know that is your truth. Find what these words mean to you and express them from the bottom of your heart, from the gut feelings of your entire being, because that is your truth and that's all you need. But you will need wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So when you seek those three things, light will be lighter and the darkness won't be threatening that much. Thank you.
You're listening to ARTCAST from our studio in Sofia, Bulgaria. You're listening to ARTCAST from our studio in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Wow, this is amazing. Listening to all your ways of loving, it has really touched my heart. So I have realized that we might have different ways of loving, but still love unites us. And I don't think it's wrong for someone to show how they feel whenever they want. It's not all about giving a good example to the young, because one day they are going to grow up and they will start loving others too. So it's better to explain to them what emotional intelligence is than to forbid them from showing their feelings. And on the other hand, there is one really important conclusion to draw from today's discussion. Even though in some cultures love is not expressed the same way as it is accepted worldwide, it's always important to realize that you don't have to show a person how you feel about them by just telling them so. It's the way you look at them, the way you support them, the way you offer when they need it, the small or not small favors you sometimes do for them without asking for anything in return. And most importantly, is about giving without expecting. It's about putting the other's needs before your own. So maybe today's topic was love in different cultures, but I think it revealed another important issue we should always bear in mind. What is the sense of love? I'll leave you to think about it. Until next time, make sure you're following Open Space Foundation account on the social media networks so that you don't miss anything. Ciao.
The project is carried out thanks to the financial support of the European program Erasmus+, Key Action 2, Capacity Building in the Field of Youth.